Global geography and island territories. Which Caribbean territory, purchased by the United States from Denmark in 1917, features Crown Mountain as its highest peak? The U.S. Virgin Islands. Which municipality is divided down the middle by State Line Avenue, straddling the border between Texas and Arkansas? Texarkana. Which major American city, ranked among the top 10 in population, sits at the historic confluence of the Delaware and Schuylkill rivers? Philadelphia. Which state stands as the geographically largest of the 48 contiguous U.S. states to utilize only a single telephone area code? Montana. Iran and the United States clashed geopolitically over blockades of which vital, oil-carrying global shipping channel? The Strait of Hormuz. Sea-based word mutated riddles. What tiresome, repetitive physical state is formed by changing the letter E to an O in the name of a North Pacific sea? Boring. What fiery volcanic byproduct is spelled by swapping the letter J for an L in the name of a sea located near Krakatoa? Lava. What proud term for a family's progenitors or ancestors is created by trading a B for a P in the name of a Northern European sea? Parents. What biological eye part is spelled by removing the letter H from the name of a sea located to the west of Great Britain? Iris. What unfortunate adjective describes the shrinking state of a vanishing Central Asian sea after swapping AL for ID? Arid. Cinema, media and pop culture. Which harrowing 1972 thriller film follows 4 Atlanta businessmen whose wilderness canoe trip in Georgia turns into a violent nightmare? Deliverance. Which 2007 biographical drama film directed by Sean Penn follows the real-life journey of Chris McCandless into the Alaskan wilderness? Into the Wild. Which 2015 historical drama film stars Leonardo DiCaprio as a frontiersman seeking vengeance against a betrayer played by Tom Hardy? The Revenant. What is the title of the acclaimed Spanish-language Netflix film La Sociedad de la Nieve, which chronicles the miraculous survival story of a 1972 Andean plane crash? Society of the Snow. Which iconic sports-centric movie location in Iowa has been affectionately dubbed the state's equivalent to Mount Rushmore? The Field of Dreams. What catchy title track served as the legendary high-energy theme song for a classic 1960s espionage television series before transitioning to a big-screen film franchise? Mission Impossible theme. Which historic international newspaper faced intense industry scrutiny after making the decision to shut down its dedicated sports and book sections? The New York Times. Long-standing unpaid wages during a government shutdown forced TSA employees to skip shifts, leading to chaotic 4-hour security lines at the international airport of which Texas city? Houston. Music and chart-topping artists. Which iconic Swedish pop group achieved global superstardom with their timeless 1977 dance floor anthem Dancing Queen? ABBA. Which multi-platinum South Korean boy band shattered global streaming records with their 2020 disco pop hit Dynamite? BTS. Which famous English pop group, fronted by Boy George, reached the top of the music charts with their 1984 single Karma Chameleon? Culture Club. Which multi-platinum American pop singer-songwriter topped the global charts with her 2006 dance pop single SOS? Rihanna. Which legendary Irish rock band, fronted by Bono, released the critically acclaimed 1987 stadium anthem With or Without You? U2. Literature and storytelling. What famous thoroughfare serves as the imaginative setting for Dr. Seuss's very first published children's book? Mulberry Street. What famous Southern dish serves as the titular culinary staple at the Whistle Stop Cafe in a celebrated comedic novel by Fanny Flagg? Fried green tomatoes. What are the final 2 descriptive words in the title of Judith Viorst's famously downbeat children's book Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day? Bad Day. Which classic Jack London adventure tale features a heroic sled dog named Buck whose ownership passes between masters played in film by Clark Gable and Harrison Ford? The Call of the Wild. Which iconic Mark Twain novel features a time-traveling protagonist who finds himself trapped inside Merlin's tower in its 7th chapter? A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. Science, medicine and health. What is the clinical medical name for Braxton Hicks contractions, the occasional uterine tightenings commonly referred to as false labor? Braxton Hicks. What is the common avian alternative name for the kiwi fruit, referencing its historical origins and another flightless bird? Chinese gooseberry. In quantum physics, experimental physicist Melissa Franklin made history by co-discovering the Higgs boson and the top variety of which fundamental subatomic particle? Quark. What severe, fatal viral disease affecting the central nervous system of mammals is also known by the medical terms hydrophobia or Lyssa? Rabies. In 1961, molecular biologists successfully cracked the first word of the genetic code by decoding 3-letter combinations of what foundational macromolecule? DNA. Which British pioneering chemist discovered the vital gas element oxygen, originally naming it dephlogisticated air? Joseph Priestley. What common, painful neurological sensation is scientifically known as phenylpalatine ganglioneuralgia, or an ice cream headache? Brain freeze. Through a series of 17th-century experiments utilizing mercury in J-shaped glass tubes, which natural philosopher proved the inverse relationship between gas pressure and volume? Robert Boyle. While isolated at home during a historic outbreak of the plague, which legendary scientist discovered that passing white sunlight through a prism reveals a mixture of all colors? Sir Isaac Newton. Economics and financial theory. Which influential American economist was awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics in 1976 for his comprehensive research on monetary history and stabilization theory? Milton Friedman. What hyphenated French term meaning, let do, did economist John Maynard Keynes target in his book The End of Laissez-Faire, arguing that free markets are not self-correcting? Laissez-faire. Which colorful economic figure served as the chairman of the Federal Reserve in the 1990s after studying woodwinds at Juilliard and touring with jazz legend Stan Getz? Alan Greenspan. Which prominent female economic advisor and former Treasury Secretary has been affectionately nicknamed the Ruth Bader Ginsburg of economics? Janet Yellen. Which influential sociologist introduced the alliterative concept of conspicuous consumption to describe purchasing luxury items primarily to project high social status? Thorstein Veblen. Agriculture and modern industry. To monitor the spread of disease, livestock regulations mandate that cows and bison crossing state lines must have official USDA identification tags attached to which body part? The ear. In 1985, music icons Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, and Neil Young organized which historic non-profit benefit concert to support family-centered agriculture? Farm Aid. Despite the state's famous peach-producing reputation, what official state crop is produced in such massive quantities by Georgia that it matches the output of the rest of the nation combined? Peanuts. What traditional slang noun puts the manual in manual farm labor, historically used to describe a hired hand who handles tough physical fieldwork? Farmhand. Before fields can be smoothed out with a harrow for planting, agricultural soil must first undergo what loosening, earth-turning preparation process? Plowing. What specific academic term defines the scientific study of wine and winemaking, standing distinct from viticulture, which focuses strictly on grape production? Onology. Modern vocabulary and social trends. What sophisticated adjective, used as a synonym for encrypted, literally means that one person or thing shares deeply familiar, private, or matching traits with another? Cognate. What specific 9-letter term was originally coined by Peru's president in the 1980s to define acts of extreme political violence perpetrated by powerful drug trafficking cartels? Narcoterror. What psychological term describes a one-way, unreciprocated relationship where an individual forms a deep, imaginary emotional bond with a media figure or celebrity? Parasocial relationship. What business and marketing phrase, used for a slow product rollout, has been adopted as dating slang to describe dropping subtle hints about a new romance without revealing the partner's identity? Soft launch. What descriptive, disapproving phrase refers to a side glance or suspicious look that literary figures like James Joyce have famously utilized in their writing? Side-eye. Wildlife and institutional sports. Which iconic American sports magazine, focusing on hunting and fishing heritage, was purchased by country music stars Morgan Wallen and Eric Church? Field and Stream. What historic Chicago landmark and baseball stadium was built in 1914 on the north side site of a former theological seminary? Wrigley Field. What specific species of Antarctic seal, once aggressively commercialized for its valuable pup pelts, is facing modern population endangerment due to a regional shortage of krill? The Antarctic fur seal. The International Olympic Committee faced intense embarrassment when the unique, two-part medals designed for the Winter Games in which two global host cities kept breaking apart from their ribbons? Lilyhammer and Nagano. Which prominent American religious movement established its early sacred temple in Kirtland, Ohio, during the 1830s before migrating further west? The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. What specific agricultural valley, named after the traditional name for the Virgin Mary's father, serves as the heart of California's farming empire but is physically sinking due to groundwater irrigation? The San Joaquin Valley. What is the identity of the fictional character mentioned by author Edgardo Vega Yunk who ain't never coming home again, regardless of promises to pay rent? Godot. What classic horse race betting phrase meaning to split your wagers has evolved into a modern idiom describing a person who avoids monogamy to date multiple people? Hedging your bets.